Hi, my name is Alex. I'm a junior here at the College of St. Rose, social work major, minor in family studies and Spanish.
Um, so I know that you have some experience with sexual violence, and I was hoping that we could talk about it a little bit today.
Absolutely. Um, well, it happened when I was really young. My stepfather had recently lost his job, and he was home a lot with us kids while my mom was away working. And, he would, the girls would always be off, at their father's, um, while I stayed home with my stepfather. And, we would play a lot, like, he'd, alright, let's go play games and stuff like that. We'd play games and, like, wrestle and stuff like that, like, normal what father and son would do. And it wasn't until, I look back a few years later that, some of the things that, he did weren't, playful. And it was later, I brought that attention to my aunt, and she had called, Child Protective Services, and they explained to me, what was going on, was an act of sexual abuse.
So, how did you cope with your experience?
For the longest time, I didn't really say anything, and, like I said, it took me a couple years to realize, the stuff that was going on. I was around the age, like, about 8 years old, 8 or 9, so it wasn't until I was around, 11 that I really said anything to anyone. And so I was very quiet. I isolated myself a lot from people, from him especially. I was very timid and kind of nervous around him, and and like male figures in general.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned confiding in some of your family members. Was there anyone else that you confided in?
I was assigned a school social worker after talking to my my elementary/middle school guidance counselor. I used to go to her, and she referred me to the school social worker, and I started talking to him, and I believe with him and my aunt, they called up, they filed the report for CPS.
So how do you deal with it now?
Me, today, I look at it as, something that has made me a stronger individual. I definitely have grown from it. I confronted my abuser, and, I told him, you can't have this power over me, and that, as much as what you did hurt me, I needed to let him know that it was going to stop. So I confronted him with the support of my social worker and my aunt.
That's great. So, do you believe that it has affected your relationships now in any way?
I definitely have some issues with trust, and honesty between me and my partner. It definitely has made me a bit wary of some men dealing with that. So, and it's definitely, as a, future social worker, it's definitely, affected my biases towards individuals who have done this. So.
Good. So, what resources did you find that were not available to you at the time?
Well, at the time when it had just happened, I was, like I said, I was very isolated, so I didn't really talk to anybody. So because I didn't talk to anybody, I didn't really know much about the resources that were given to me. It was then after, when they started seeing my grades were slacking, in school and everything like that, when I was referred to the guidance counselor, that's when, I started, all the resources started opening up to me. And it really helped me, just being able to say it, in my, a lot of my family, we kind of just keep things to ourselves, but it really helped open my eyes that there are people out there that are willing to help.
That's great. So while you were going through everything and taking advantage of some of the resources, did you find that there were any faults in the system?
Not really. I didn't find anyone to really turn away from me or judge me in any way, so from my personal experience, no, I didn't find any faults in the system. Everyone was very helpful. They were, they just really helped me out.
That's great. Thank you for sharing.
No problem.